Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the 4th Annual DevOps Enterprise Conference here in London. So, over the next 13 minutes, I just want to describe the construction of this conference and describe why we're here and what we want to achieve over the next 3 days. First off, I just want to observe that I think we all believe that DevOps is important. We believe that DevOps creates genuine business value and societal value, and that DevOps makes our work more humane. And over believe it or not, over the last 6 years, I've actually resisted actually saying what my definition of DevOps is, and I've actually started doing this more recently. And this is what we put into the DevOps handbook. It is the set of architectural practices, technical practices, and cultural norms that enable us to increase our ability to deliver applications and services more quickly and safely, which allows us to rapidly experiment and innovate and deliver value in the fastest possible way to our customers, while preserving world-class reliability, security, and stability so that we can win in the marketplace. So as much as I like that definition, because it doesn't actually say what DevOps is, but it does describe the outcomes that we want to achieve, there is actually a definition I like better, and it didn't come from me. It came from John Smart, back when he was the head of Better Ways of Working at Barclays. And his definition was this: it's better value, sooner, safer, happier. And I love that it's so short, and it describes it so succinctly and beautifully. So one of my favorite lines in the Phoenix Project was by Eric, and he said that his goal is to improve the lives of 1 million IT workers in the next 5 years. And something that I've learned since then is that, gosh, that's actually not a really big number at all. And one of the reasons for that comes from Joseph Jacks. And he had this astonishing blog post that actually observed that by the year 2033, there will be 1 billion software engineers on this planet, right? And so, we can debate whether it's 1 billion or 250 million, right? The point is that the next generation of workers really are going to be dominated by developers. And so you can see this in the statistics. IDC came out with a study a couple years ago that says there are about 21 million developers on the planet today. 11 million are full-time. The rest are hobbyists or non-professional developers. And you combine that to the population of other people in the technology value stream. So I think if Eric if we're redoing the Phoenix Project today, right, I think Eric would say we need to improve the lives of 40 million technology workers in the next 10 years, because so much of the work that we do in organizations today to create value is really grounded in software. So why are we here today? I think it's because all of us are on a common journey to transform our organizations to this better way of working. And we want to learn how to best achieve that, right? And we want to meet the people that we need to surround ourselves with to succeed in that mission. And the thing that comes up over and over in my interactions with you is that I look forward to this conference because it gives me just enough energy to make it one more year, right? That is, it keeps me energized to keep up the good fight. And so I want to acknowledge that, and there's so much that we do in the program committee to help make that possible. So first thing I want to talk about in that is just really our goals for the DevOps Enterprise Summit, is really to help you achieve those goals. And so I want to acknowledge all the help that we get from the program committee. Many of these folks have been involved from the very beginning for the last 6-7 years. And so I think we've been very deliberate about what we want to achieve over the next 3 days. By the way, so for the first year, this is now a 3-day conference matching the DevOps Enterprise Summit that we have in Las Vegas. So one of the things I think makes this conference unique is that it's really grounded in experience reports, and we love repeat experience reports. We love to see what happens to these technology leaders as they go through their journey year over year. And so tell us what's happened over the last year. Are you winning or losing? Is your path worth following? Are there patterns of success? Or is this like a really bad idea? Is this a career-limiting move, right? So I love the fact that we have so many repeat experience reports this year. And they represent about 20% of our programming. So we don't restrict ourselves, of course, to just repeat experience reports. We also look for new experience reports. And I think they serve a very specific purpose. Jason Cox at Disney, he said, one of the things that he gets from the conference is the fact that he can always be bringing in new stories to help show his leadership. And it's so helpful for him to be able to say, even company X or company Y is doing DevOps. There's another, I think, very specific objective we have, is that we want to get as many experience reports from as many industry domains as possible so that we can use it to negate objections, to show that DevOps is solving a universal problem that occurs across all company sizes, across all industries. And so this year, I'm delighted that we have a bunch of great experience reports, and we have the first life sciences experience report coming from Max Shaw. We have the UK Home Office presenting. So these new experience reports make about 20% of the programming. We had last year here in London was the first time that we actually had a dedicated next generation operations track. And I was delighted by those. I think it really brought a different flavor to the conference and actually showed just how important it is to build these internal platforms to help elevate developer productivity. And so we created a specific programming subcommittee to focus on just these talks, and they're a very sneaky bunch. We snuck in a lot of them through the experience reports, and I think there are more next-generation operations and infrastructure talks at this conference than any one that we've had so far. And we're on a multi-year journey, really trying to understand what obstacles technology leaders face. And I think increasingly, these technology leaders who are succeeding, increasingly the obstacles aren't within the classic DevOps technology value stream. Increasingly the obstacles are product leadership, business leadership, project management, information security, the CFOs, the project management office. And so our goal has been to focus on bringing those stories into the conference as well. And so we don't want just business leaders standing alongside them, acknowledging their presence. We want these people who are rabid fans, who are saying all my goals, dreams, and aspirations of the organizations could not have been achieved without my technology partner. And so Courtney Kistler has been relentless about helping up our game here. And so I'm delighted that we have a bunch of great talks showing how technology and business work together to create incredible outcomes. And I'll just put this out there, we're always looking for more of these, where we have technology leaders who have the results to show and the fans within the business organization. If you have stories like this, come find me, send me a message in Slack, right? We'd love to talk to you. We saved 15% of programming for this, and we didn't fill them all, right? So, if you have stories like this, come find me. And then the other portion is that we want to bring in relevant experts from the domains of, that we are looking for to succeed. I think, I love looking at the bookshelves of these technology leaders. They all look the same, right? And it's not just DevOps books. It's, they're drawing upon safety culture, lean. And so this year we brought in a phenomenal set of experts, both from the lean area, Dr. Steven Spear from MIT. We'll be presenting Dr. Christina Maslach from University of California, Berkeley on burnout. We have a panel with those two, plus Dr. Nicole Forsgren, famous for her amazing work with the state of DevOps. They'll be doing a panel on day 3. We also are having a specific session from Joseph Levine and John Waters from Deloitte from their audit attest practice. So these aren't the consulting folks, and I have nothing against consultants. Some of my best friends are consultants. But these are the auditors, right? These are the people who are responsible for the accurate financial reporting for things like stocks, right? Showing how DevOps is safe. In fact, these are the people who are building the cloud solutions that help support the audit and attest practice, right? And so there's a session that Dr. Topara Pal, one of our programming committee members, is leading. And the session is called Everything That You Wanted to Ask an Auditor But Were Afraid to Ask. Right? And so bring your questions, and whatever you do in that session, don't say what organization you're from, right? Because there's certain obligations as an auditor that if they hear, they have to report. So I'm delighted that we're offering this to you as a way to talk to a friendly auditor. So I want to share one more other goal that I have for this conference, and maybe to put this into context, I've learned so much through conferences. In fact, so many of the speakers from the DevOps Enterprise 2014 conference in San Francisco, almost half of those people I met at a conference. Almost all the program committee members I met at a conference. And in fact, I found all my co-authors for books I've written and co-written. Those came from a conference. And I know what it feels like. I know how great conferences can be, but I also know the other side where there's certain people that you want to talk to, but they're on the other side of a velvet rope, right? They seem unreachable. Or you stand around and you want to find someone to talk to, but don't know exactly where to go. And so one of the things that we've tried to do is create the structure so that you don't have to feel that way. And so one of the things that I've asked every speaker to do is end every presentation with, here's what we don't know how to do, or here's what we're looking for help with, right? So that they're declaring, here's an opportunity to actually help someone, right? And you may find that your fellow travelers, and in my case, has often led to relationships that last for years and over decades. And I think it's like interactions like this that allow us to create this amazing community that I think of as mutually exothermic. It's a community that's actually actively helping each other. So I think that is actually my last slide, except for this one thing. So there's two reasons that this conference and this year is very special to me. One is that it's our first year having a 3-day conference here in London, matching the US conference, which I think is awesome. And the second one is that you are going to get the first peek at something I've been working on for almost 3 years, which is called the Unicorn Project, which has been really inspired by the stories that have been presented in the DevOps Enterprise Conference the last 6 years. And so I'll be doing a book signing tonight, and there'll be more instructions to come, and you'll be all receiving a excerpt, which is like over half of the Unicorn Project. And it's an early draft, but I'm excited that we were able to get that together to share with you this week. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jeff Gallimore, who's going to talk through the logistics of the conference. Jeff.
Good morning, everybody. It may be raining outside, but it's always sunny at the summit. Gene and the rest of the programming committee have created an amazing speaker lineup. You will be blown away by what they've done and the things that they know. You will definitely take away a lot of insights back to wherever home base is for you to bring back to your work and the people that you work with. But those interactions, those talks, are primarily one way. They are from the speaker on the stage to you sitting in the audience. And we all know that we get a lot of value from two-way interactions. So we want to create those kinds of opportunities, to have those kinds of two-way interactions between you and the speaker and between you and each other. So we'll cover some of those opportunities in just a minute. But the best way to know the who, what, where, and when of what's happening at the summit is the Crowd Compass ATTENDEEHUB mobile app. If you go into your device's app store, you download that, search for the DevOps Enterprise Summit, select London, and you should be good to go with all the details. That is how we're going to be pushing the latest and greatest schedule updates and any changes that get made to the agenda. And Slack is back. This is an experiment that we ran last year at London. It worked really, really well. We're bringing it back again. We're using Slack for what Slack is really good at. This is interaction, so we can have dialogues, we can have conversations. We've got lots of channels set up for all kinds of different things. We'll be pushing out information through Slack as well, as long as a lot of reminders for what's happening in the agenda and important updates. Now, because we have both the mobile app and we have Slack to make sure that everybody is clear on what to use for what, the mobile app is primarily for the session feedback and the agenda, and Slack, again, is what we use Slack for, and that is dialogue, conversations, and interactions. Each of the next 2 days, today and tomorrow, we have a block of networking time set aside in the afternoon for you all to have those kinds of interactions. We have 3 kinds of opportunities: Speaker's Corner, Lean Coffee, and Birds of a Feather. Again, both of those are going to be happening in different places in the afternoon, today and tomorrow. First of all, we have the Speaker's Corner. So this is the opportunity for you all to ask the speakers the burning questions that you might not get to ask them in their talk or in their session. You can also, if you're a big fan, get a selfie with them. Some of them really like that. Aurora 5 is out these doors, to the right, out the next set of doors, and around the corner. Speakers from the day will be spread out in that room. Go find the speaker, ask your question. If you've asked yours and there's a crowd huddled around that person, just clear out and let the next person ask. If you miss the opportunity to ask the speaker the question that you really want to ask, we also have an Ask the Speaker channel in Slack. Go ahead and post your question in there, tag the speaker, and they will hopefully respond. If you have an answer or have some thoughts to add to a question that somebody else has asked, go ahead and contribute. That's what that channel is there for. We also have Lean Coffee. So Lean Coffee will be upstairs in the Riverview area. It's up the stairs. The stairs are right to the left out of here. You can also take the lift up one floor. How many of you have participated in a Lean Coffee session before? Okay, so you already know how awesome a learning opportunity that is. Now, for those of you who haven't participated in a Lean Coffee session, you owe it to yourself to check this out, especially because it's being facilitated by the best in the game, and that's Dominica DeGrandis. So to give you a little bit of a sense of what Lean Coffee is all about, we have a handful of topics that should resonate and connect with many of you. There should be something up there for each of you. Go up there, you find a group of fellow travelers sitting at the table that you want to talk about, you develop a prioritized backlog, and through some magic of time boxing and democratic voting, you will all walk out 60 minutes later much more informed, connected, and inspired than you went in. And then finally, we also have Birds of a Feather. Now, Birds of a Feather is for you to talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about with whoever wants to talk about it with you. That is in the Aurora foyer. It is out these doors and to the left. The idea for this, we have a Slack channel for this too. If you want to lead or initiate a discussion about a topic, post that topic in the Birds of a Feather channel in Slack. And if you want to participate in that discussion, upvote, somehow signal your interest to whoever posted that topic, then find each other in the Aurora foyer this afternoon, post any notes or discussion topics after the fact, and if you are in fact leading a topic, we will have these table cards up there. Write your topic down there. It'll make it a lot easier to find each other. For those of you that have participated in open spaces, you know what the law of 2 feet is. For those of you that don't know what the open spaces are or haven't participated in them, let me explain what law of 2 feet is. The law of 2 feet is if you find yourself participating in a group where you are neither learning nor contributing, it is your responsibility to use your 2 feet to find some place where you can either learn or contribute. So if you're like this guy who's more interested in the phone, which is totally fine, lots of important things happening out in the social media sphere, it might be better to use your 2 feet and find a place where you can learn and contribute somewhere else. Now, we've got a lot of opportunities now in the afternoon for you to engage in those interactions. Which one do you choose? Here are some questions to help you figure that out. What's your learning goal? Is it very specific? Do you have a specific question or a thing that you want to learn about? Or are you more open and broad? What's your energy level? Is it high? Is it low? For me in the afternoon, I'm a little low, so I would prefer to just sit back maybe a little bit. How do you want to contribute? And how much do you want to consume? So these are some of the diagnostic questions. Each of these opportunities in the afternoon has a little bit of a different format. Code of conduct. We have a code of conduct. We are all humans. We are all part of the same community. We want to make sure that we treat each other well, right? Let me give you the gist of it. When somebody else is sharing, listen well. If you have something to share, share well, respect everybody, and speak up if you see something or hear something that doesn't contribute to the kind of environment that we want to have. Big thanks to our founding partner, IT Revolution. You can see their booth right out these doors. They have a booth set up with all of their stuff. A big thanks to the platinum sponsors, BMC, CloudBeast, Deloitte, HCL, IBM, Sonatype, TaskTop, and Zebia Labs. Our gold sponsors, our silver sponsors, and our other sponsors who you'll be hearing about for the rest of the event. Those thanks were genuine. This event doesn't happen without our sponsors. They are a big part of this community too. So give them some love. Go talk to them in the expo hall right next door. We do have Wi-Fi. Here are the deets on that. Unlike this community's capacity to learn, our Wi-Fi's capacity is limited. Please limit your usage to 2 devices. And hey, you're here, don't live stream. Couple of notes on safety to keep everybody safe out there. Keep your stuff with you at all times. Listen to anything that happens over the PA system. If you have a concern or need some help, find a person from the hotel staff. They will have a name badge. Or somebody from IT Revolution. They will have a white lanyard with a gold staff ribbon on their badge. If you need any help, we have a Slack channel for that too, Post and Summit Help. You can also email help@itrevolution.com, or if all else fails, you can direct message me, Jay Gallimore, in Slack. Take a picture of this. These are all the details for all of the things that you need to connect or download. I learned this last time. Okay, one last quick logistical scientific survey. How many people have been to lightning talks before and know what that's all about? Okay. This is another opportunity you don't want to miss. They are super fun. They are happening tomorrow. You will be educated. You will be informed. You will laugh. You will cry. It will be wonderful. Now, given that sort of setup, how many people are yeses for tomorrow night's lightning talks or definite maybes? 227, 228, 229. Got it. Okay, very good. Thank you very much. Have an amazing time the next 3 days at the summit. Gene, I'm going to hand back to you for this year's first talk.
Thank you, Jeff Gallimore.